to be someone who rolled with the punches.
Allan, thanks so much for making time to speak with me. And before we say anything, I want to say thank you for you and CARAS making the decision that you guys did for the Juno Awards and saying that, you know what, maybe we should shut this down, because if you guys didn't do what you did, I could not imagine what could have happened to a lot of us, even though some of us had already flown down to Calgary, not Calgary, sorry, to
Saskatoon.
Saskatoon, thank you. You know, it could have been really bad. So I want to say, from somebody who did fly down to Saskatoon, thank you so much for making that decision. And, wow, the world changed really quickly after you guys did do that.
Yeah, thanks, Rudy. I'm sorry you had to make the trip all the way there just to have to come home. We obviously, this was an incredibly difficult decision that not only the CARAS had to make, but along with the city of Saskatoon and the province of Saskatchewan, who were just amazing partners, as well as our team at CBC. A lot of people had to consult and be part of that decision, and as much as it was a difficult one, it was also the only decision that we really could make. It was the right thing to do, and it's really unfortunate, but we're looking forward to getting all the winners' names out there soon. We'll hope to have some information about that coming up fairly soon.
And in the meantime, something that you guys are doing, which I think is really cool, has to do with the word songwriter and performances. What is going on right now?
Well, as you probably know, Rudy, the Juno Songwriter Circle, we call it the Jewel of Juno Weekend, and it is one of the most special events that happened during Juno Week. And our friends at CBC Music called us up after the cancellation, obviously, and said, you know, this is such an amazing event that happens during Juno Week, and they broadcast it. And they said, look, why don't we create a virtual Songwriter Circle and do a series of them? And so it's just been a great way to bring, you know, what is such a special moment of Juno Weekend, where the artists get to talk about the creation and how songs came to be. And so CBC Music has been working with us on a series of 5 Juno 365 Songwriter Circles, as we like to call it. And we're going to be announcing episode 3.
Now, before we talk about 3, we've already had 2. What were the other 2 like?
Well, the first one kicked off with Brett Kissel as our host, and Juno Award nominees Dominique Fields-Aime, who is out of Quebec, was nominated for Jazz Vocal Album of the Year. Kaya Carter, who was a previous nominee the year before in our Roots Contemporary category, and Devin Portalesh, who was from the band Half Moon Run, who was up for Adult Alternative Album of the Year. And Brett was scheduled to host our gala dinner, actually, and so we asked him to come in and host one of these songwriter circles. So that one kicked it off. And then just last week we had Rose Cousins as our host, along with Hall of Famer Ed Robertson from the Bare Naked Ladies, Juno Award winner William Prince, and the 2020 Juno Award Songwriter of the Year nominee Tennille Townes. So just an exceptional group of singer-songwriters, and just really nice to also hear the interaction that, you know, having each artist hear the other one perform and be able to see their reactions and talk about the creation of the song. It's they're very, very special.
So what is our next one? What's happening with this?
Well, number 3, I've just got to say some amazing artists, and 2 of my favorite vocalists of all time are involved with this one. Joel Plaskett, who just put out a new album called 44, a 4-album set from Halifax, will be hosting the episode number 3. We also have Canadian Music Hall of Fame inductee Buffy St. Marie joining, which will be outstanding. And then Juno Award winner and 2020 nominee Dallas Green from City and Color, and one of my all-time favorite singer-songwriters, Sarah Harmer.
So again,
also released a brand new record just recently.
Fantastic. How do fans get involved with it? How do we get to watch it?
Very simple. You can watch it on the free CBC Gem streaming service. This is happening on Friday, May the 29th at 8 p.m. You can also go to the CBC Music Facebook page and YouTube channels, and or just log in at cbcmusic.ca/Junos. Facebook is great because you can actually interact. You see a lot of the fan notes coming out. Some of the artists also chime in and get involved in the conversation as well.
Of course, we're still going to have another one happening, and we got to wait for that announcement. But any other surprises that CARAS and the Junos are planning throughout this time while we're on lockdown?
Well, this has been this is the first thing that we were able to put together. And again, so proud of what the Songwriters Circle has become with our partners at CBC, and also a big shout out to SoCan and Music Publishers Canada, who helped make this all come to life. And it's all brought to you by TD. But on top of this, as I mentioned off the top, we still have to announce the winners of 42 Junos. And so we're looking forward to being able to do that, hopefully fairly soon. We should have an announcement coming out relatively soon about letting everybody know who the winners of the 2020 Junos actually are.
And, of course, I know we're going to have to go by this day by day, week by week, because as we speak, the big one, the 50th, is going to be happening here in Toronto. And I could not imagine what you guys are going through right now and just trying to figure out what's going to happen, how we're going to do this, how it's going to work out, because this was really going to be massive.
And still will be, Rudy. I think that obviously bringing the Junos back to where it all started 50 years ago in Toronto, we obviously hope this is going to be one of the most memorable Junos ever, and we can't wait to be able to announce details around this as well. But as you were saying, it's been a very interesting time coming off this cancellation and trying to figure out how to plan and take everything into consideration around social gathering and government restrictions that we obviously will abide by. So the whole live music sector and the sports industry, we rely on being able to gather people to enjoy these events. So we're looking very forward to being able to get those details out and obviously work with all the health officials and making sure that happens correctly and responsibly.
Before we go, very quick question. I hope this isn't going to throw you or anything. Because we had to cancel the Junos this year in Saskatoon, can folks still get maybe some of the merchandise that was going to be sold, like, Saskatoon Juno T-shirts or mugs or anything like that? Because I think right now they'd be great collector's items.
Collector's items, absolutely.
Exactly.
We worked with a company actually in Saskatoon to do all of our merch this year, and I know that they did a big sale shortly after the cancellation. Whether they actually had any left or not, I'm actually not sure. I think they sort of sold out of most of the stuff they had, but we could certainly try to find out for you.
That would be fantastic. I know I've got some of the programs and stuff like that, and I'm keeping that as a collector's item. But look, you guys have done an amazing job. Thank you so much for what you guys do for Canadian music. Looking forward to the Circle, looking forward to everything else happening, and crossing fingers, looking forward to probably what is going to be the best Junos next year here in Toronto. Thank you, my friend, for making time for me, and be safe.
Always a pleasure, Rudy.